Yeah, I just wonder what, we just talked with Andy a little bit about, is such a thing to have too much time when you're trying to game plan, and how have you juggled that, and is it good?
Yeah, we've been, slow and steady, I guess, more of it, trying not to, wear it out too early, because there's a lot of time. You do have a number of practices and things like that, but quite honestly, between the recruiting and the on-campus visits and all those kind of things, it's probably not as much time as you really think, but we've found time in the process here since the end of the year, particularly in the last week and a half, to really do some game planning, and we're taking it in stages and pieces, but it's going good.
Does it? I mean, it must feel different than a week, than a game week, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You have probably more time film watching, just really diving into some things. Obviously, there's more time to to try something, practice it, thumbs up or thumbs down on a few things. So there's been a little bit of that, and that part's been good, where you don't have to feel like you're just rushed through everything. So like I said, we're working on a few things and tweaking it as we go along, and so for that I appreciate the time.
What jumps out about Arkansas to you, and from a defensive perspective?
Well, they've got a really good running back, a really good quarterback, good running quarterback. So those guys are, I think, the keys to them, and they're still there. I know they've had some departures in some other areas and things like that, but to me, all the running backs and the quarterback are back, and they're a good running team, and I'm sure they're going to run the ball. So from that standpoint, I'm sure they still feel good about what they have and what they're doing, but we certainly got to be able to be physical up front and kind of match that physicality, and quite honestly, those guys are big dudes. We got to be able to hit them and wrap them and get them on the ground too. So those are big challenges for us, and we're aware of that, and we're working in that direction.
As a staff, you guys, I think, lost your first bowl game in Buffalo and then won the last two. Is there anything that you learned from the first go-around that you changed up or that you bring into this year?
I don't know if as much as just keeping it fresh for guys and not making it burdensome, so that guys are really excited about playing. You get a number of practices, but I think we've spread out those practices. We've emphasized different things at practices so that it hasn't been every day, all day, Arkansas. I think that would be that everybody would, you get tired of that kind of thing, and so you can only, there's only so much you can over prepare in ways too. So I think that's one of those things. Is I feel like our team is they're fresh, they're excited about the chance to go, and so I feel like we're approaching it, compared to maybe that first year we went to a bowl game, we're probably, just trying to spread it out a little bit more and keep it fresh. That's the best words I can use.
Brian, you've obviously been in this industry for a long time. The current landscape of December, everything that goes on from visits to portal recruiting, is this sustainable, having everything condensed into 3 weeks?
Is it
sustainable?
Sustainable? Well, you might be asking the wrong guy. I know it's tough. It's tough from a coaching standpoint, trying to, particularly when you add in the bowl preparation and, just guys all over the place. And then, it certainly has changed. I might have my own opinions about some of that change, but it is what it is. So we're going to, we're going to go at it as harder than anybody. And it's just what you got to do. I guess the good part is it's a smaller window of time right now. So, you're really trying to knock it out for that time, and you just got to do what you got to do. And that's the way it is. Can it keep going like that for the future? I'm not sure. I'm sure they're going to try to always look at things and tweak things so that it is more sustainable. But what all those answers are right now, I guess I'm probably not the guy to ask. So I just keep my head down and work. So,
Coach, in terms of not spending every minute of the last 3 weeks on Arkansas, working on your own program, what is the skill set involved in doing effective self-scouting?
Yeah, we have done that. We have a off the field crew of guys that have really looked at all those things and dove into the numbers, and they dive into the the different breakdowns and what it is we're what it is we do well, what it is we really need to work on. Some of that yet would be more for when the season officially ends, but we have looked a little bit in some short-term things here, like we probably should be doing a little bit more of this, because this is we've had a high success rate at this kind of stuff, and maybe we should stay away from a couple things that we haven't. So we do look at all that. It's our success rate's down in distance success rate. It's the calls that you're making. How often are you winning and losing when you're making certain calls? Part of it also would be like particular plays that have given us trouble, and why are they giving us trouble, trying to identify those things. So we've done some of that, quite honestly, but not as much as we'll do when it's all over here after the 28th.
You guys will get Kenny Logan Jr. back for one more year. Was that kind of an early Christmas present for you?
Yeah, that's good. I kind of, I probably had my feelings and suspicions about that before all that came about. But yeah, it's good to have him back. I think it's in his best interests, and it'll help further prepare him. But at the same time, it's a kind of a win-win situation, because obviously we get one of our best players to be with us for another year as well. So I'm excited and happy about that for sure.
Does that change your priorities in the portal at all?
No, not as much. We're really trying to find quality players at really every position on defense, and players that are going to raise the ceiling of what we are. And so whether he was, if he came back or not, we're still going to look in those directions, because we, to fill the scholarship numbers that we really want at each position. But quite honestly, also is we know that even how much maybe better that we are, there's still a lot of room to grow ahead of us. And part of that is development of players that you have, but part of it also is bringing in the right pieces that help elevate. So we're still doing that for sure.
You mentioned developing players. How big are these practices for some of those younger guys and building continuity?
Yeah, I think for those guys, it's been awesome. The first week that we practiced is basically developmental practices almost exclusively, and then the second week was partially developmental practices. So for those guys, it's an extra 3 weeks of practice that they wouldn't get otherwise, and repetition, and just the practice part of things, and getting more comfortable with everything that's going on and what we're doing. I think they're going to be further ahead this spring because of it. So that's again one of those behind the scene kind of things that, well, a bowl game really helps you, because you do get a lot of extra practice time, and so I think that really aids in development.
Brian, what do you see from Arkansas's offensive line?
They're big, they're physical, and I think they're well coached. I think their head coach is a former offensive line guy, so I'm sure he's involved to a degree there. I think they know what they're doing, and they're going to come off and try to hit you in the mouth some, and we've got to be prepared for that, and so we've got to be able to come off the ball ourselves and attack and react to things. But I don't think they're not a group that you're going to fool a whole bunch, because I do think they have some experience, and we've got to be able to scheme things up in a good way to help us, and be playing at our best. But they're a pretty good group, even though I think the center's not participating, and he was a noticeably good player. So I can't say that I'm really sad about that, but they've got good players across the front there, and it's going to be a heck of a challenge. Particularly pass game, but particularly in the run game. That's if we can't stop them from running the ball, and we don't have a chance to win. So we're going to have to do it.
You guys are going to lose the top 3 guys at defensive tackle. Something Sam Burt talked about was using these practices to help those younger guys, Tommy, DJ. I guess, how have you seen that happen and unfold over the last few weeks?
Yeah, just that. It's those guys just need repetition and experience, and referencing calls and executing technique and things like that. And so again, it's just if it's 200 more reps that they get because of it, all the better, because their roles will change, from kind of being the backup kind of fillers to some of the main players. So they've been getting plenty of opportunities, and honestly, they're doing a pretty good job. So I'm happy with those guys.
From that standpoint, do you ever consider into a bowl game like playing some of the younger guys maybe a little bit more to get them those extra reps?
I don't know. I think our plan is to win the game. So whatever it takes to win the game is what we're going to do, and that's my sole focus. I think that's our sole focus, and I want guys to have a fun time. I want guys to be able to participate and get in the game and things like that. They're going to do that anyway. But quite honestly, I'm highly motivated to win. So. We'll play the guys that are going to help us do that the best, and if it's them, it's them. If it's not, then it's the guys, it's the some of those older guys. But we're gonna do what we got to do to win.
All right, thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks.